I'm Basil Cronfley, and I've been a technology journalist for over 10 years, writing for titles including TechRadar and Wired. In my time as a journalist, I've seen Huawei flourish to become the incredible innovator it is today. With Huawei taking pole position as the world's #1 smartphone manufacturer in the last quarter, it shipped more devices than the competition, and its software solution, powered by Huawei Mobile Services, is fundamental to its success. Developers are at the heart of the ways Huawei delights its users, and that's why Huawei's annual Apps Up competition is so important. Apps Up has compiled a diverse judging panel, from technical experts to industry experts through to venture capitalists. The Apps Up journey and Huawei's relationship with its developers is more than just a competition though. That's why Huawei gathered its experts to share their expertise in this Q&A with you, in the hopes that you can gain valuable insights as to how to grow and scale your business and what to look for in the future. Dr. Jaime Gonzalo is a mobile and gaming industry expert, responsible for product and business strategy, go-to-market, and performance of mobile services across Europe. Now to Helsinki, where Dr. Jaime Gonzalo can field some of your questions.
Thank you very much for the introduction. We will now proceed to take questions from the audience.
Which app categories are more popular after COVID quarantine than before?
The biggest growth we are seeing in apps categories actually correspond to 5 different sections. The first one is food apps. The second one is education. The third one is healthcare. Fourth one is social networking, and the fifth one is gaming. People are concerned about going to the stores and do the shopping, so that's why apps like Deliveroo or Just Eat have become very popular. Another popular app category we are seeing is picking up momentum is education apps. While schools and institutes remain closed, people turn to online solutions to keep developing and acquiring new skills. Apps like Lingo Kids or ABBA English have become tremendously popular not only among young students, but across all levels of population. Another very important category of apps is healthcare. Especially these days, we have become more aware of our health, our well-being, our status. So people are turning into digital solutions to check on how they are feeling. Plus, we have less opportunities to practice our usual sports. We have turned into home solutions, digital trainers. Some examples of these apps are Diazio, which allows you to scan the food and tell you the calories that you are going to ingest. It is a small contribution to a big cause to keep everyone as healthy as possible in this period. One of the elements that has considerably grown for a lot of people is available time. That's why it's not surprising that social networking and gaming are 2 of the most popular categories we're seeing growing in these days. Especially cooperative games to play in groups like Free Fire from Garena, Marvel Strike Force, or Guns of Glory, all of them available in AppGallery, are seeing a huge peak of popularity. Social apps, communication apps, calling apps like Viber, like Telegram.
What are the key takeaways from the current gaming market?
We would highlight mainly 4 takeaways in the current gaming market. The first one is that the gaming market is and will keep growing in the future. The second one is that everyone plays games, not just a small segment of population. The third one is that people play games without barriers. They explore new ways to enjoy the gaming environments. And the fourth one is that there is a rise of esports, notably on mobile. Today, mobile games account for 30% of all the apps downloaded in the world. But this 30% represents 74% of the spending. And actually, from all the time people spend using apps, all type of apps, 10% of that time, they spend it on games. In terms of volume, 2.4 billion people play games. That means 30% plus of the global population. As a civilization nowadays, games are as important for us in our daily usage as music. When we say that everyone is a gamer, it means that the average age of the gamer now is 36 years old, which is up from 27 years old some years ago. So actually, the gamer age is becoming older. In terms of gender, 51% of gamers are female, 49 male, so it's quite balanced. 1/3 of the gamers are aged between 36 and 50 years old, which gives you an idea that the classic stereotype of gamers, is not totally accurate. Actually, it's not about the individual playing games. It's about the community playing games. It's about the fact of how or why we play games. This is not about one person alone with no social life, killing spaceships in his living room. For many, games have become their friends' networking exercise. People have met their couples playing games, and some of them got married and celebrated in the game with other friends. When we say that people play games without barriers, what we mean is that the gamer wants an immersive experience, and they will extract as much intensity as they can from the technology available. Some years ago, we were happy with games in black and white. Now games have full immersive polygons, AR capabilities, VR, sound environments that takes us totally inside the experience of the storytelling. With the launch of new technologies like 5G, like VR streaming, this immersive experience will only keep growing and become a true immersive and fully enjoyable experience for all the senses. One of the most surprising elements in gaming is the rise of esports. The fact that some people prefer to watch others play rather than playing the game themselves. I mean, this is not totally new when you take it to other entertainment areas like sports, but in games, we have already reached 495 million people actively watching esports. That is a growth of 11% year on year.
Name 3 things which game developers should not do, in your opinion.
As a developer, there are 3 common mistakes that we see and we recommend to avoid. The first one is don't put all your eggs in one basket. The second one is pay attention to details. And the third one is believe in yourself. When we say don't put all your eggs in one basket, we mean don't cut the potential of your app to only one marketplace. Explore everything that the digital environment has to provide to you. You have done the hardest work. You have developed an app. You have completed the work. Many hours, many nights, probably a lot of hours of sleep sacrificed, a lot of weekends. You have done the toughest part. Now show yourself to the world. Distribution is the easy bit. So why limit yourself to one app store that probably actually will not even be live in the biggest app economy market in the world, which is China, when you can actually explore all the other app stores because none of them have an exclusivity clause. Expand your business. You never know which audience will be attracted more to your content. So that's our first recommendation. Explore every channel available to be visible to the whole world. The second recommendation is pay attention to detail. Don't just trust that everyone will understand immediately what you have in mind. Take care of the screenshots of your app when you are marketing it. Your icon, the description, make it clear. Take care of your users and interact with them. Reward those that put a review about your app, especially positive ones. Listen to your audience about feedback and take care of these small things that make the difference between a good app and a really good one. The third recommendation is about believing in yourself. If you don't believe in your potential, if you are not sure, okay, I'm going to succeed, if you don't say that to yourself, how can you convince others to say that for you? So get out, show to everyone, make sure that they share your passion, your love for what you have built.
What's the most effective monetization model in gaming?
Gaming is one of the most advanced areas in terms of monetization and business models. Compared to other industry sectors, like, for example, the cinema, there is only one business model. You pay for a ticket, and then you watch the movie. There's other expansion into subscription models that you can see in video on demand, but there hasn't been that much evolution compared to games. Games allow a huge variety of business models tied to every audience and to every type of content. One of the most popular ones is advertisement. You download for free, you play for free, and at some point you will see a pop-up of an ad. Nobody pays, but the developer can make a revenue out of that. Ads have evolved themselves, and before we had them as probably spamming images that appeared, but now we have rewarded ads. So when you watch an ad, you get a reward in the game. You get more coins, better weapon, better power-up, and that takes you to watch more ads, which is more revenue to the developer, which helps you advance in your game. Everybody wins. For more demanding users and probably more what we call hardcore games, more immersive games, a very popular business model is the microtransactions, in-app purchases, we call them. Basically, they allow you to enhance your experience in the game quicker or stronger than by the standard free experience. You can still play the game without paying, but when you pay, other options unlock, in-app purchases. A third option, more oriented to classic gamers, so to say, is the premium purchases, the full game purchase. This is more in resonance with the console type of business. These users are used to pay 60 euros for a game. So they are not so much maybe attracted by microtransactions and small grinding of different parts in the game, and more about unlocking everything. One-time payment and everything gets available in the game. And finally, there's an emerging trend about subscription models in games. Somebody calls it the video on demand for games. This model is very new. It's still being proven, and there's not yet a real success story to generate a new lead in the industry.
What is the best way to reinforce the value of your product after someone becomes a customer?
The appearance of mobile economies and the free-to-play models have totally disrupted the way in which commerce was done. In the past, commerce was all about advertising your product to lead the user to your point of sale. What it means is the user arrived at your store, bought your product, and goodbye. Thank you very much. But with the appearance of freemium, the moment the user acquires your product, that's when you start the communication. That's when the marketing starts. It's all about how they keep using you. Acquisition of a free content is easy, but keeping the user interested in time and monetizing through time as a lifetime value, that's a tricky bit. I think the bottom line, the recommendation is treat them well. Avoid anything that you would not like to receive as a consumer. Think that way, think consumer. See why they chose you and create that relationship with them as you would treat a friend. When someone has given you the trust, don't disappoint them. You know what they like, ask them. What did you like? What you didn't like? Reviews are greatly helpful for that. That is one of the magic elements of digital. You have instant feedback. You can ask a customer, what did you like? Oh, you have a complaint. What happened? And you can immediately correct it. Oh, thank you very much. Oh, this is very useful information. Never think that the idea of the consumer cannot help you. Critics will help you improve and will generate trust.
Which app has changed your life?
The first one was the password manager. The day I discovered password managers and I could log in, especially across devices, on my PC, on my TV, on my smartphone, my tablet, to anything I needed with more and more complicated passwords, that was a big relief for my neurons. And probably the second that made a before and an after was the snake game. When someone showed me a phone with a screen, I know I'm very old. You can see my white hair. Many on your audience, probably the first game you are playing in your life is Fortnite. So yes, I'm talking about a different time. But yes, there was a time where phones didn't have a screen. And somebody said, this one has a screen. What for? What for to go? Yeah, there's something called Snake. What is this? And I tried it. And it was fun. And that changed everything. And from that moment I said, we are going to work in video games for mobile. And this marked the next 12 years in my career.
How can apps stand out?
There is an ocean of apps out there. If you build your app, you have to know that you will be an icon among 3 million icons. Every day, there are 6,000 new apps being released. It is difficult to stand out. Make your app easy to find. People are going to search for things they like. So make sure that the keywords you have associated correspond to your audience, to the expectations. Maybe creating a website or a reference place for people to, oh, I heard about this app. Let's try to find it. They search and you are nowhere online. Let's make it something clear. If you are not online, you don't exist for the mobile generation. So make sure that you have a place to be, to exist, to drive the eyeballs to, and let people find you when they are searching for you. The second one is, don't try to bite too big. Don't try to attract everybody at the same time. Understand who is your audience and maybe your market. Maybe it's a local geographical thing, or maybe it's an age thing, or a trends thing. Maybe you should aim for Western movie lovers, or for dancers, or for something that connects. Don't try to build, I'm going to advertise to the world and I will be famous overnight. This will unlikely work. So understand what is your audience and talk to them in the right tone. For example, if you are building a game, don't say things like, I have created a game that will bring you to good levels and reliable. No, talk to them like, okay, let's have fun. Let's attack monsters or conquer castles. Talk to them in the language they will understand. There's an audience that expects something from you. Understand that. Another example is reward the users. If someone downloads the game, maybe you can do a welcome gift, or maybe you can have something in the game that will people feel like, okay, this is good. I liked it. Rather than, okay, you downloaded me, now pay. No, maybe this will create a bit of blockage. So no, don't rush into creating a business out of that if you have someone that is giving you their trust, especially at your initial steps. Another unexplored factor is take into account the storage. So we have solutions in Huawei like quick apps that allow an app to run without having to be downloaded, installed, and kept in the phone. These apps don't consume memory. If your app takes a lot of memory of the user phone, the moment they cannot take more family photos, what do you think will happen? They will stop taking photos of their children, or they will delete your app. So consider apps that don't take memory, that basically are so easy as click and open, because that is a very helpful capability, especially for those apps that are used very often. And the last one is keep improving all the time. The digital market allows you to update your app.
Let's imagine a startup asks for X sum of money. How do you evaluate that it needs exactly that and not half it or double it?
Making the perfect song. You can always modify a little note here and there to make it sound even better, at least at the beginning. So keep attentive to that, keep working on it, keep perfecting it. If you follow these advices, at least you would have happy customers for those who have given you their trust. Best of luck for everyone.